Konnichiwa, hope everyone's good. So I got a new Crook knife, just came yesterday in the post. I think it's also called a Makitagan or something like that. Got it off of Ray Mears' website, the Woodlaw store. It's made by, if I can find the bit of paper, had it somewhere. There it is. S. Jarv Handwerk or something like that. It's made in Sweden. About 60 on the Rockwell scale. So I've got a few projects in mind, including building a handle for this. I want to go into the woods, find some birch hopefully. Normally if I've got wood carving projects, I would go into the birch woodland, which is about 4 or 5 miles from where I live. But to get there, it's difficult now. The council haven't bothered looking after the paths to it, and it's overgrown, over my head height, and I'm 6 foot, give or take. And it's a half-mile walk along that path to get to the birch woodland, so cannot really get there until winter when the cold weather kills everything off. The only other way I can get there is over a train track, but it's Monday today and the trains are operating, so it's a £10,000 fine. And again, it's a half-mile walk across the train tracks to get there. On top of that, I've got to walk up a steep slope. And again, that's overgrown, so I've got to hack everything back as I'm climbing, and it's a wet, rainy day today, so it's going to be slippery, as is climbing up the slope and hacking everything back. It's going to be very dangerous doing that, so just come to the normal woods. Birch is not so common, most of this is pine, but we'll see if we can find birch. Birch is my preferred choice. I've got some bowls and spoons projects that I want to do, which is the main reason why I got this. And I'll shut up, see if we can find anything worth using. So this one is a possibility. Maybe he's 50 or 60 feet high, dead, standing. See if we can find another one. Might come back to this one and fell it and use this. Completely rotten through. So it's starting to rain a bit heavier now, so I'll go set up camp at my usual spot. There's a few pine trees, not pine, sorry, dead birches around it, so see if they're any good. So that's a little day camp set up. On the way in I found the perfect birch tree. It's still alive, but it's broken off at the top. So I'll go and get that now. Just got basic tools, cold steel tomahawk and the silky saw. Let's see if I can find this tree again. Not too far from the camp. So this is the best angle I can get. I'm going to try and fell it that way. It's about 50 foot high. Not too thick though. I'll move the camera. I've got a feeling it's gonna want to fall that way. I'm a gardener, not a lumberjack. So got a section here with a crook in it. Going to make this the handle for the Mil-tec, if that's the correct word for it, or crook knife. No! Well, I did say a while ago I was in need to replace this blade. Still functional though. So the bit of the saw that broke off in there, bottom was sticking out. Just got a lovely cut. Suppose that's punishment for cutting down a live tree. It was dying anyway. Time for some basic first aid. That's the cut, about a centimetre long. It's actually quite deep. The silky saw teeth are like razor blades. Never had cuts like this off of other saws. It's the price you pay though for buying the best. Forgot to stock up my band-aids in my wallet, so I stuck with this one. Sorted. So we're going to get plenty of projects out of this. I want to carve a long bowl or a trencher type bowl. I'll put a picture in if you've never seen one. So we'll take this section here for the bowl. So my brain woke up and reminded me that it would be easier to cut off the ground. Thank you, brain. Now for this section, close to the tip for a spoon. And this concludes a harvest of birch bark. We'll get the coffee on now. So, absolute tragedy has happened. All set up for the coffee, and I forgot to bring the coffee. So there's some blackberries around there. I'm gonna try and make some blackberry tea. Never made it before, never had it before, so we'll see what it's like. Silver lining to every cloud. So that should be enough. Just gonna boil them in the water for a while. That should be tea done. Whoop. So leave that for a while. I can smell the blackberries boiling away. Actually smells really good. So it's my first time using this Hungarian half shelter in the rain. I tried it with nick wax. And you can see water is soaking in a little bit. Yesterday the delivery man also delivered 2 Polish plush blackers, so I've got a Polish lavu shelter now. I'll be breaking that out real soon. Just thought I would bring this out in the rain and try it out. I think I'll be treating it with Fabsil before I next bring it out in the rain. The Polish plackers are perfect, unissued condition. They still had the 2 tags attached to them. Which is great. Means I don't have to worry about patching up any holes or anything like I did with this thing. I noticed the Polish shelter halves are much lighter than this. I think this weighs maybe 1.5 to 2 pounds. Maybe it's 2.5 pounds. I haven't weighed the Polish ones, but they do feel a lot lighter than this. Also, we'll see how heavy this is once it's soaked with water. I think another 5 minutes and I'll see what the tea is like. It's been boiling away for about 10-15 minutes. So there's the tea. It's been boiling away for half an hour. Take it off, see how hot these handles are. Not bad. Looks like the blackberries have turned white. Didn't bother bringing a cup with us, so I'll drink out of that. Wait a while for it to cool down. These Highlander waterproof pants are great. Wore them a few times in some heavy rain. Never had any leaks in the seams or anything. Been using it with the bike as well. Obviously with the bike seat soaking wet and you sit in it, sometimes the water can seep in through conduction. Never had any problems with that with these pants, so I can highly recommend these. They're only £14. I bought them at a military surplus store in Newcastle called Command Outdoors. If I find them on the internet, I'll put links in the description for them, but I really highly recommend these pants. They're awesome. The coat as well is very good. It's Mil-tec ECW extreme cold weather coat. It's good for these temperatures without the lining. It's about 15 degrees Celsius. It's perfectly good. It's huge on me though. I've lost 3 stone since I bought this jacket, so looks like I'm wearing a poncho or a small tent. but it's 100% waterproof, so I can highly recommend that. It was a bit pricey though. I paid, I think it was 80 quid for it. I think I got it from, can't remember where I got it from. One of the military surplus stores. I'll put a link in the description to it though when I get home. I know the site, I just can't remember it off the top of my head. So first impressions of my tea. It's pretty good. It's a little bitter, but it's really good for you anyway. Took about 25 blackberries, 16 ounces of water, boiled it for half an hour. First time making blackberry tea, but I think I'd make it again. It is a little bitter, like I say, but has a lot of health benefits, so it's worth it. Well, sun's just starting to come out. Rain's starting to clear up. Just gone 3:05. Camera doesn't want to focus. There you go. Hang around for another 2 hours and I'll pack up, head home. I'll get started on the handle for the Crook knife. So that's the blade seated into the handle. Just need to shape the handle. It's actually pretty comfortable just holding it like this, as is. Here's the finished handle. It's actually really comfortable. I might just leave it as is. I was going to sand it down, but I might just leave it like this. Hear the cats fighting in the back garden. All I've got to do now though is make a sheath for it. Not going to go fancy, just stick some leather on it and then wrap it around with some string. So that's the new Crook knife. That's all I've got for this video. Thanks for watching. Chana.